how does it concretely come about that a family strengthening can become hope for a nation's future? I would like to discuss the three following points. The first, fatherhood, essential for persons and for culture. Second, the art of accompanying fragilities, the path of building hope in family and nation. And three, solidarity and mission of families within society, hope for a person-centered nation. My first section, fatherhood essential for persons and for culture. When Joseph's brothers went down to Egypt, they thought of just one thing: that they can buy grain from Pharaoh and that the family would not starve to death. How many families today dream that they would just survive? And yet, is this the only dream that families are allowed to make? How many people dream that their father would be at least a satisfactory provider of even just a simple living? But in the end, is anyone ever satisfied to have a father who is just a good provider? Next. Joseph started his journey as a pinanga, as a favorite of his father. This cloak Jacob gave to Joseph symbolizes the dignity his father recognizes in him, as well as his fatherly love and care. In wearing this father-given coat, Joseph learned the value of loving himself and loving others. At that time, Joseph received these strange dreams of the future. In fact, they foretold the paths God had traced for him in calling him to serve family and nation. When he was exiled far away to Egypt, although his cloak was taken away from him, he kept the covenant of God in his heart. He put into good use the practical wisdom he inherited from Jacob, and he served others with it in Egypt. He in turn gave life to others. He was even called father to Pharaoh. At his brother's arrival, he enabled the reconstitution of his own family and the perpetuation of its heritage. Next. The true dream of a family, the true dream of a father, cannot be just one of material survival and provision. A father needs not always be the most effective in providing, and this is not what makes a family. Nor is it true that a father's dream consists in imposing his ambitions upon his home, dictating everything in the house and in his children's growth. While seeking to give sure material foundation to family life, a father has the ambition to assure two things simultaneously. First, the father is the guardian of identity and trainer of responsible freedom for the members of the family. He assures the safe context in which everyone can be their true selves, and at the same time challenges each one to take his part of responsibility. Secondly, while doing so, he hands on all that he has. The father hands on a skill, the father hands on a trade, his character, his sense of judgment and priorities, his faithful love for family, for nation, for God. And when a child receives these things from a father and makes them his own, something magical happens. Next, the father's own person, with his achievements, discoveries, qualities, finds new lease of life in the child, who embraces the heritage freely and lets it grow in his life. This is why we call culture patrimony. Because culture is what fathers hand down to us. A nation's culture is what its forefathers have acquired and handed on to their children, and the children freely embraces it. The father waits for his child to become an adult. The father waits for the fruition of his heritage. This is the father's dream. The dream of the father, the dream of the family, is that each person becomes a free adult and that all are united around the joy that the parents and the elders' heritage bears fruit. All of us, women included, are called to become fathers in this sense, not just providers, but solid guides and guardians in whose protection the weak, the young, and the old can be themselves, have the same context to make bold personal choices, and in this guardianship, we hand on not only material gain, but above all, our moral and spiritual selves. A society that has real fathers is not a society that operates by the law of the jungle. Fathers or elders teach the youth a sense of true justice, where they give way to one another, especially to the weaker. A society that has real fathers is not a society that only runs after economic success or material prosperity, but one that puts the welfare of the entire person, body, heart, hands, and mind at the center. A society that has real fathers is not an indulgent society, which justifies misdeeds by false mercy or makes alibis for resisting change. It does not keep people together by imposing the fear of punishment. A culture that nurtures the person starts with a firm assertion of true fatherhood. For the first time in Pahaya Forum, we have had 3 lady speakers. I hope you will forgive me that after having heard 3 mothers speak, I will put in a strong word in favor of fathers. Next section. The art of accompanying fragilities, the path of building hope in family and nation.